Imagine being a man, a husband at that, and allowing another grown man to forcibly put meat in your wife's mouth, even though she's stated repeatedly that she's a vegetarian and that she'd rather not. But oh no, this is not the first infraction, or even the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. This is about the 50th infraction of this man and his wife forcing you into situations that you'd rather not be in because you're too much of a bitch to speak up. Speak No Evils about an American family who go out and visit an English family on their countryside home after meeting them initially on a vacation. Soon after they arrive, they start to realize that there's something really off about this family, and as they continue to learn more and more, they start to get worried and start thinking about leaving. Speak No Evil pissed me off in all the right ways that I want a thriller or a horror movie to do, and here's what I mean by that. The way I enjoy my horror movies is yelling at characters for doing stupid things on screen. But I also like them to be quality and for those characters and the situations that they're in to be believable and also to be scary. I need to feel uncomfortable in that situation. And boy, did I feel uncomfortable during this entire interaction.
Agnes, love, you have to eat your vegetables. And we don't chew with our mouths open.
Please, could you stop telling my daughter what to do?
You don't criticize other people's children. You should say sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Louise.
Louise, is there anything you'd like to say?
This family, the Dalton family that we're following, made up of Ben, Louise, and their daughter Agnes, go on this vacation at this family's house that they met, I'm telling you, for maybe 2 days.
Listen, you have to come and visit. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah? Yeah. Done.
You don't know these people, and yet you're putting your life in their hand. And to top it off, they're an American family going off to do this in a completely different country where they cannot call for backup or for help if you put yourself in this type of situation. If someone visited from out of the States and came to America, I also would not recommend that you go to anybody's house that you don't know. Right at the beginning of this movie, they meet Patty and Sierra and their young son, and almost immediately, Patty inserts himself as an authority figure in their family. As soon as he comes up, he's already telling the husband, I can take your child and we'll go on a little bike ride. And the wife of Patty, Sierra, is like, no, don't worry, you'll be safe. And all you hear as he allowed his child to ride on the bike of someone who he does not know is police sirens, almost crashes, and everything else as they're coming around the block. Yo, ain't no way that you are this much of a punk to allow your daughter in this situation because you're afraid to say no. And there's a brilliant part in this movie where the shit is going down, specifically the third act, and the wife, Louise, asks,
why are you doing this?
Because you let us.
Because you let us. This entire film is a lesson to me and any viewer who's watching. Do not let people walk all over you, because if you let them, they will. This is an extreme case of that, where you have James McAvoy playing Patty, and James McAvoy plays psychotic so well.
You guys have been
Just a breath of fresh air.
Oh, well, that is very sweet of you to say.
If you've ever seen Split, you know that he plays psychotic well. He even takes it to a higher level in a movie that I don't really like, which is Glass, where he becomes the Beast. It's absolutely impressive what James McAvoy can do from a physical standpoint to make you feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, James McAvoy is incredible in this movie. And not only James McAvoy's character of Patty, but his wife, Sierra, played by Aisling Franciosi. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I truly apologize, but you are amazing in this film as a much more subtle version of Patty. She's just as sadistic, but you can definitely tell Patty's the one who turns it up and she's the one who supports. There are so many different encounters throughout this film that make you super uncomfortable.
17 years.
17 years.
Wow.
You get less for murder.
They go to a dinner at one point. They start talking about their sex lives. And at one point, it almost looks like they're giving each other fellatio at the table. And you see this couple just sit there like, what are we doing here? Now, also, I do want to point out the performance of Scoot McNairy as Ben, that bitch I was talking about in the beginning of the film.
I admire you. Louise is a great woman.
You have those characters in film that you actually hate, despise, are just annoyed by. But you also recognize that the actor behind that is doing an incredible job of making you feel that way.
Ta-da!
You are VIP guests.
Just to remind you, I'm a vegetarian.
Our gift to you.
That is so. I'm.
Louise, doctor's orders.
Very good.
There are so many situations in this movie where he's not just being run over by this new evil family, but also by his own family, where he can't even speak up. He doesn't even feel like he can express himself in a way where he's being heard or listened to. And I'm not talking about forceful, like they must do what he says, but he has no voice in this family. And because of that weakness, he also carries that weakness over to situations where they're clearly in danger. Dog, what are you doing? I could not imagine being in a situation where someone's making my wife or my child uncomfortable or putting them in danger and thinking, you know what, I'm just not going to win this battle. You know, I feel like maybe everything will be peaceful if I just let things happen rather than dealing with the situation at hand. That's not any way to deal with any relationship that you're in. I don't believe in all the like the alpha male stuff, like you got to control your woman and all that other stuff. That's BS. But there is a situation where, as a man, as a husband, as a father, your job is to protect your family, no matter the cost, even if it's at the cost of your own well-being. Once the shit hit the fan in the third act of this film, it wasn't like he became this man who rose up and put his foot down and said, I'm going to protect my family. He spent the entire third act of this film, which was amazing, by the way, just fumbling and bumbling and still trying to peacemake instead of getting his family out this motherfucking house. This movie is wild. I absolutely had a great time being upset with everybody on screen. It's one of those movies that really pull out your emotions towards everything that you're looking at. Also, last thing, promise, before we give our rating. If someone has a gun, you defeat said person or temporarily knock them out, and gun falls on the floor, pick up the gun. Do not let the dangerous person continue to have the weapon. What are you doing? There's so many instances towards the end of the film where I was like, yo, y'all are the dumbest people alive. Now, as I said at the beginning of the review, those are the types of horror and thriller movies that I love. What would I rate this film? I'm going to give this film a must see, just for the edge of your seat thriller type of vibes that you get, and just so you guys can see it and be just as mad at this man as I am. Well, all right, y'all, that's my review for Speak No Evil. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys next time.